once upon a time, he gave this series where he said, "Well, one day I decided to stop saying things that made me weak." There's one of two things that have followed suit. Either like they broke him of that, or he sees strength as a measure of finances. Um, like like you said, we live in stories. There's three potential arcs for him. One is the one that everybody in this community believes. There's no point in me going over it. Two is that he was actually moved enough to fight, to stand up and do the right thing with C16. That was true. And then, like, money came in and said, you know what? Instead of giving college to everyone, maybe you take book tour, or maybe bad things happen to your family. And now he's a Russian bot. And to me, that's him. Like, he's got this whole Pinocchio lecture. He says what happens to poor Pinocchio when he runs off with the with the famous people. Except he's like, this is like for unearned fame. And so he must think he's earned it. Otherwise, he'd see how Pinocchio he is right now. And but there's two other things I want to throw in. First is one of the things that latched me hard onto Peterson after so much Joe Rogan pro psychedelic programming was the ayahuasca letter at the opening of Bible lecture 4-2, maybe. But it's like this lady takes ayahuasca, and ayahuasca endorses Peterson. But in ayahuasca's alleged endorsement of Peterson, she says at this time. And anybody who thinks it's still that time is not paying attention. And so I posit his arc goes like stands up, gets swallowed by a whale, and now we're waiting. So he's either Jonah or Geppetto. I don't know. Like he could pull a Jonah, right? I'm not saying he doesn't have an opportunity for redemption.
Well,
but most likely he's Geppetto, because he comes around saying, boys, become men. Hey, boys, become men. Ah, gets swallowed. And like all those boys are on Pleasure Island say, hey, is Peterson coming back, man? That guy said cool shit. When we're supposed to be saving him from the belly of the whale.
so I'm actually now I don't even,
Because like
fun.
he started Harvard, happy to have worked for the UN, global reset. The hardcore right wing, Kekistani boys, as he called them before he donned the Pepe hat and harnessed them for himself. They say he was always that's what he was there for, was to bring the Kekistani boys into the system, like rather than rebelling against the system, clean your room and go serve it. And that he was never, like, always a prop. This was, the whole thing was scripted. That's not the one I had with, like, that's fishy even for me. But those three narratives exist, and as far as I know, the only one that's allowed to be discussed is the first one. We have to, like, that's our axiomatic presuppositions for dialogue in the community, and that's why, like, I say things people can't say, because they have to maintain that, and I'm operating on a different narrative.
I mean, I think that Jordan Peterson wants to be taken seriously as an academic above all things.
I think he wants redemption above all things right now. I mean, that's just from watching him and John.
I don't think those two things are at odds. What I said and what you said, I think they're probably, he wants to be redeemed as an academic, even, I think, like
I can see a desire for that.
But in that way, like, I don't think I think that the Christians are wondering what's going on, because he's not going to be what people think. Like, he, in terms of a spiritual Messiah, they
don't do anything with the one they have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. but we have a vision of what he needs to do so that what? Like, why aren't, if it's that easy, you do it. But right, like, and then it's the same thing with the politics. Like, dude doesn't want to get murked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, and I can't hate that. Like, so whatever.
Once upon a time, in a land not unlike our own, there was a decision to change global management around a little bit with One Belt Road. And to let everyone on the planet know this was happening, they put all the people in cages and then let the emperor penguins walk around the zoo. And some people align themselves with that. They just laugh along. You're not going to own anything and everyone's going to like it. Hee hee hee. And like other people like served as figures where they'd have pretend hate pieces come out and be like, oh, look how much everybody hates him. All these things you're allowed to say to criticize him that they say, ooh. And they continue the journey. They throw the penguin in your face at the commercials, at the front of everything. But that's not important. You're watching the arc unfold. You're watching the new version of television. We don't have people write the scripts anymore. They just live them and stream it to you. Like,
yeah.